Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic, and today the Coyotes have some rebuilding to do. Look, don't get me wrong, year one was an absolutely great one, and we won more games than I probably thought. We finished 5-7, not that bad. And in our first season as a university, being one game away from being bowl eligible was, a little bit of a silver lining for us. That being said, I've been working extremely hard on getting a great recruiting class to come in and help us take a next step. I want to be bowl eligible next year, and we're gonna have a tough schedule, but I believe that we can get it done. So sit back, relax, and then do me a favor, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe if you enjoyed the content, leave a comment down below. Let's get into it. First things first, we're seeing Najee Harris win the Heisman Trophy Award. He beats out Ty Jordan, RIP, Bigsby, Trask, and Robinson. But look, Najee Harris had a heck of a season. 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, over 36 grabs, almost 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, 22 in total. It's a special year for him. From an All-American standpoint, we see Darrow King be the #1 quarterback in the nation, Ty Jordan getting up there as well, along with Najee Harris. But we only had one player being on the first team All-American list, and you can pretty much guess who that was. Mr. Logan Nesbitt, the best player on the defensive side of the ball in program history. Probably the best player on both sides of the ball, to be honest. But ultimately, we had one guy. I felt like we maybe could have had a second one here or there, but I'll still take it. Over on the second team, we don't actually have a single player on this side at all. Again, I thought like we got kind of slighted in a couple of ways, but you know what? We'll use that as fuel for the next season. Now, the All-American teams are one thing, but I'm gonna be honest, we got really slighted here on the freshman All-American team. Jordan Damon didn't make this team. Not at all. Some slander right there. But if we do look at it from a Conference USA standpoint, you can see our boy Lonnie Touchdowns is going to be there as the #1 receiver, not second. Okay, the #1 receiver, Mr. Lonnie Downs. Skipping to the rest of the list from the first team, we see Mr. Logan Nesbitt again. He has to be there because he was the, one of the best players in all of college football on the defensive side, and no one else on the first team. And in the second team, we only have one player. No one forgets about Asher O'Hara because that dude absolutely killed us. But from our side, we only have one player. That's going to be Mr. Ty Hammond down here at free safety. Again, a very good year for him. Could have been better, but I'm happy with how he played. From an award-winning perspective, you see Kyle Trask as I'm getting your Maxwell Award. Your Walter Camp goes to Tank Bigsby of Auburn, a true freshman. This kid's going to be an absolute stud and probably win a lot of awards for a very long time. Your Bednarik Award goes to none other than Logan Nesbitt again. Monster season for him overall. Nagurski also going to our guy Logan Nesbitt. The O'Brien, Kyle Trask, Doak Walker, Tank Bigsby. The Bolitnikoff Award goes to RC Bowman out of Northwestern. The Mackey goes to Cade Otten out of Washington. You're going to see Landon Dickerson going to get the Outland Trophy as well as the Remington Trophy. The Lombardi Trophy is going to go to Justin Foster, left end out of Clemson. Your best linebacker. Who else would it have been? Our guy Logan Nesbitt. Thorpe Award goes to Jakeem Harris. Your Groza Award goes to Oldroyd. And then you're going to see the Best Punter Ray Guy Award goes to Torrey Taylor of Iowa. And last but not least, let's not forget about the best returner in the nation, Kadarius Toney, who in real life just went over in the NFL draft, ends up getting the best returner in the nation. Now, before we head fully into the offseason, we did get a bunch of recruits after our last game. Ricky Evans, a strong safety, 63 overall. Mike Oliver, we're going to get a 3-star. He's a JUCO, keep in mind, so we're only going to have him for probably 2 seasons. We get a 77 overall athlete in Mike Oliver. We get a guard in Shannon Smith that is 77 overall, the best pickup we have because Lord knows we need some help on the offensive line. We're also going to see Josh Cole, middle linebacker that was highly touted for us. We're glad we got him. Josh Powers is another strong safety, a 2-star. John Hall, a 70 overall corner. Now, I really like him a lot. Look at his scouting, 92 speed, 90 acceleration. This dude's got 77 man coverage, 77 zone coverage, and 75 press. He should be a day 1 starter, I think. No relation to John Hall. We also got Doug Hall, great first name, a 3-star athlete for us, going to be a 66 overall. Lauren Sims, a center. Jamal Patterson, the first player we ever signed. And there's more to come, but we've got some work to do. And just as it stands, out of 127 schools in NCAA football, we're ranked number 92 for the overall class. Not great at all. We'll work on what we can do in the rest of the offseason. We touched on it earlier in the season, but again, Logan Nesbitt set the record for most sacks in a season, getting 8, eclipsing what Mervin McMurvin had established as his record. Another record you guys might have remembered is Ty Edmonds getting 4 interceptions in a season, 3 previously set by Mervin McMurvin. Again, his record. And then lastly, we had a really cool bowl matchup. We saw #1 Alabama win their matchup. We see BYU win their matchup. They fought in the title game for the college football playoffs, and Alabama ends up beating BYU 38-22. I mean, incredible game for them all around. They dominated. Mac Jones threw for 2 touchdowns on the ground. Najee Harris only had 1 rushing touchdown out there as well. If you look at BYU, Zach Wilson didn't throw a single touchdown, which is kind of crazy, but the running back Al Geyer, I believe is how you say his name, had 2 on the ground. So BYU just needed more in the passing game, but they still made it somewhat close. But Alabama goes undefeated and they win it all. Now, as we sort of take a look at what happens from a player's leaving standpoint, we see Theo Higgins is the only guy that really is voluntarily leaving. Logan Nesbitt's gone, Riley Kiley's gone, JJ Shipley, Dylan Mobley, and our guy Colin Duder, best last name for kicker ever. These guys are all graduating, but Higgins is the one guy that voluntarily wants to leave. And if we look at what he's sort of working with here from a statistical standpoint, he's got 85 speed, 93 acceleration. His man coverage is 73, zones is 75, press is 73, catching's okay. I mean, this dude was a freshman. He says he's homesick, but I think he's worth maybe trying to keep. So we have an opportunity to go ahead and try to persuade him into staying, so we can try to see what we have. Our chance is very low. Again, he's homesick. Even if we said he'll have more than 8 interceptions, it says low. So I'm just going to say, you know what? The kid wants to go home. I'm not going to hold him against that. Let him go back. So what I'm kind of upset about is that the NFL draft happened and not a single one of our players got drafted. I mean, I get some of those dudes maybe weren't worth it, but Logan Nesbitt, not a single team wanted to draft him. They're crazy. Now, something interesting is coming in. We actually got someone who wants to transfer to our school. Tommy Eichenberg from The Ohio State University, a redshirt freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, wants to come play for us. Looking at his speed, not great. Acceleration is pretty high. His tackle's an 84. Play rec, block shedding, pursuit, zone coverage. These things are honestly not bad. Hit power's high, stamina's high, injuries pretty high. This is a dude that I'm willing to take a gamble on. We need a middle linebacker. We just lost our best one. So signing day has come and officially passed, and we landed some big recruits we wanted, but there's kind of a lot of gaps that maybe we didn't necessarily hit on. So again, you guys have seen these, but to recap our entire draft class: Jamal Patterson, Lawrence Sims, Doug Hall, John Hall, Josh Powers, Josh Cole, Shannon Smith, Mike Oliver, again, the JUCO that a lot of you guys are, more than likely pretty excited about. That should be a contributor day 1. Ricky Evans, Mark Murphy, we got a 69 overall receiver. John McConnell, though, is a guy that's an athlete, a 3-star, and you're probably saying 65 overall, who cares? When we actually go to position him and see where he's at, he has a really good throw power and throw accuracy, sitting around mid-80s for that, along with really good speed. This could be our quarterback day 1. Along with John McConnell, we ended up getting Trey Swain, a 6'6", 218-pound receiver that, again, is probably going to have to sit year 1, but he's going to be a big player at some point for us. And rounding out our recruiting class, we're going to have Jason Capps. We're going to have a 6'5" defensive tackle. Ben Oliver, another defensive tackle coming in. We needed to make sure we landed some of those guys. We definitely got 2 pretty solid ones, I think, for the most part. Ray Walden coming in, a 74 overall athlete, a 4-star, the first 4-star signing ever. Now, there were some other guys we had a decent chance at. Some of these guys we didn't ultimately get despite being in the running. Jeff Smith would have been a great kicker for us to have, an 82 overall, but didn't want to sign. Marcus Lindsay is a guy that we chased the entire season. Even though we had the scholarship offer day 1, we were recruiting him heavy. Ohio State ends up beating us out. We put like 2,000 points into him into the final week for signing day. They beat us out a little bit, but I don't really think he signed with them or us, so maybe he's going to go play golf. Who knows? In terms of our actual recruiting class, we moved up from 92 to 65. So again, year 1, the school is just starting out. That's not bad. To give you a quick snapshot of all those guys in one spot, 15 players overall. Again, could have been more. We'll work on that a little bit more in next season, but we went after some big names and got a lot more than I thought. Now, the big thing for our team is that we recruited not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 athletes this season, and that's a major W. We even beat out teams like Auburn and Alabama for a guy like Mike Oliver. That's huge. The question ultimately is, where are these guys going to play? Again, Mike Oliver's a JUCO, so let's see what he's ultimately got. Halfback, he's a 76 overall, but with 84 speed and 82 acceleration. I don't think that's his spot.
A few moments later.
Ultimately, though, we're going to settle on wide receiver. That's his highest overall spot at a 77. He had running back at a 76. This is a little bit better for him. and we'll see how he nets out. Ray Walden is a huge dub for us. Again, our first 4-star guy. I want to see what he can ultimately do. 95 acceleration with 87 speed. He should be a lot of fun. 70 overall for a halfback, 74 for a wide receiver. I feel like he might end up being on defense though. Nothing on the offensive line. Linebacker spots, he's kind of mediocre. Corner, he's a 69 overall, but free safety, he's a 74. Strong safety, he's a 72. Okay, let's check something. So if we take an outlook of what our guys are ultimately having right now, Ty Hammond is a senior at 79. We also have another senior in Christian Booker to 71. Then we have Bastion Kirk, a 75 overall, true sophomore. Interesting. Strong safety though, we have Zion Shockley, who's sitting there at a 79 overall senior. Then we have Garner Conley at a 71. We've got Crowder, some other guys. Okay, we're seeing some potential. And then a receiver, we're sitting here with some guys that are okay, right? Kyron Christensen at 83, Mike Oliver at 77. Remember, a lot of these guys are going to have increases to their overall rating, so they should be up a point, 2, maybe even more. We can definitely move him around, but I think we're going to put Ray Walden is going to be at our strong safety spot. He'll be benched for year 1. But again, going into year 2, he should get some pretty decent playing time. Doug Hall, great first name, is another guy that we're pretty excited about having in this team. He's a 66 overall for his max potential. He has 89 speed, 92 acceleration, so a little bit faster than some of our other guys here. Wide receiver, he's pretty lowly rated. Not seeing a lot of potential. Defensive end, maybe a little bit. Middle linebacker, outside linebacker. Corner, a 66 overall. Free safety, a 71. Strong safety, a 70. Honestly, I think we might put him at free safety. Maybe he'll end up getting redshirted. Maybe he plays corner in the next season. But for now, I think we'll take him where his highest overall is at free safety. The guy that I was the most excited about was John McConnell. We've got a guy here with, I think, a ton of potential. 86 speed, 86 acceleration. He's a 74 overall quarterback. Running back, he's a 75. Wide receiver, 71. Tight end is 66. He's not going to play on offensive line at all. He could be a mid-60s at outside linebacker, all the linebackers. 69 at free safety. This guy's a quarterback. I'm not going to take a guy with this good of throwing power and, you know, accuracy and put him on defense. Nobody. You belong at quarterback. If you kind of look at how he's stacking up against our guy here, JoJo, again, sitting there at quarterback, 88 speed, 89 acceleration. But really, it's the throw power, throw accuracy that scares us a little bit. Throw power is a 79, throw accuracy is a 71. Not great. If you compare that to what our guy John McConnell has, so maybe his rating shifted a little bit lower than what we thought, but 82 throw power, 83 throw accuracy with an 85 juke move, 85 trucking, 74 carrying, 82 spin move, and 85 stiff arm. It's going to be hard not to start this guy. And with that being said, one of the most controversial players on our team was Miller Moody. And as much as I love Miller Moody at running back, you've just really seen that's not his true calling. So Miller Moody will not be playing running back in his second year with us. The next year with us, he will be moving to wide receiver. Lower overall, but we know that he has the intangibles to make that happen. High speed, good catching. See what Miller Moody can do in the slot. And in an even crazier change of events, JoJo Johnson will move from quarterback to running back. We have found our quarterback of the future in John McConnell. He's going to start day 1. We've made that executive decision. I'm going to see what JoJo can do running the ball. He was great for us a lot of times. Him, Derwin, should be a pretty nasty combo. Let's see what they can do. And if worst case goes to worst, McConnell's bad, we move JoJo back to quarterback. But for now, I'm trying the experiment. A lot of things to be happy about, though. We have our train that came through. Lee Buckner comes in, the senior redshirt, up to a 73 overall. We see Rocco Green, the sophomore redshirt, up to a 72. If we go to halfback, JoJo went up to an 82 overall. A little bit better on speed. Acceleration went up +3. He's now in 82. That's +6 from what he was. We're also seeing our guy Marvin Derwin at a 71. We're going to see Bo Thomas Jr. again, who we redshirted last year, more of a power back. Maybe he plays fullback some this season. We'll see. He's a 73 overall. He's just not very fast at 81 speed, but I really think it's going to be Johnson and Derwin. A two-headed snake is going to be dominating the running game this year. It's worth pointing out as well, Dino Montgomery also got a massive boost here of +6. Again, we'll see what Dino can do. Maybe he's playing a little bit in the return game or playing some sparingly at running back, but I'm excited about the running game this year. It should be an improvement. At At fullback, Gamble Monroe is now a 78, getting +5. You see Bowers and Franklin both go up +4 respectively. Wide receivers, some pretty solid momentum here that we're seeing as well. +3 for Christensen, +3 for Mello Dawkins. Lonnie Downs goes up +4, which is great. I feel like he maybe could have went up a little bit more, but you know what? We'll see what he does this year, entering his junior year. Miller Moody goes up to a 77 overall at +4. Troy Bradley, the senior, goes up to +5. And we're seeing Sidney Peters, who didn't really play at all last season, go up +4. Tight end Kalen Harris is a +4, as well as Rubley and Turner as well. The offensive line is seeing great momentum here. We're seeing +4, +5, +4. We're seeing +4s and +5. We're seeing a +5 for both guys here at center, which is great news because, again, this is one of our biggest weaknesses going into last season. At right guard, we're seeing +5s across the board. Let's go. I'm hype. Right tackle, seeing +4, +3, and +4. At left end, we're seeing our guy Landon Rawls entering his senior season go up +5, as well as Stroop and McCree both getting the same treatment. Isaac Vaca also going up +5, as well as Noah Anderson getting a +4, and Jacob Brown with a +5. Defensive tackle, we only have one returning guy in Thomas Carroll, but he goes up from a 76 to an 81. On the left side of our outside linebackers, we're seeing Makai Reeves, the true sophomore, coming in. Great speed, 89 overall. I'm so hyped to see him get in the field right now. 78 with a +4. Tyrese Davis Jr. goes up 3. We're seeing Quan Anthony go up 5, as well as Eli Oliver 5 as well. At middle linebacker, we've got some guys that are going to be playing a lot this year and being very important. Magwood being the biggest one. I think he saw a little bit of playing time last year and was solid, gets a +5. Eichenberg, though, the transfer coming in from the Ohio State, right? This is a major piece to our team. He's going up +4, with Hatley, Carson, and Braden going up +5, +5, and +4 respectively. On the right side of our outside linebackers, the big guy, Jackson Chamberlain, never redshirted, has been playing the entire time. 84 overall with a +4. Walters goes up +4, as well as Estes comes up +4 as well. On the corner side, we're seeing Jordan Damon again, a guy that should have been considered for second-team All-American in my opinion, at least on the returner side, if not just the corner side. Should have been on the freshman All-American team last year as well. He got slighted. He goes up +4 to an 80. We're seeing Mr. Teddy Edmonds, the senior, up +5. Antonio goes up to 4. Reed Jr. up 3. And then Chase McNeil goes up 4 too. Free safety, Ty Hammond. Put some respect on that man's name, +4. Bastion Kirk is up +4, as well as Christian Booker. If we go to strong safety, Zion Shockley up +5. Garner Conley up 3. And then we're seeing Cisco Crowder up 4 as well. And then kicker, we made a big issue with actually not recruiting a kicker this season, so we'll work on that going into the next year. But we don't kick here. It's an experiment, okay? At punter, though, we do have Westy Mendes coming in at 73. We'll have a walk-on kicker, but we had nobody returning, and we just didn't really recruit anybody, so that's on me. So going into the final stage of the offseason, we have to cut 11 players from our roster. This is a tough one, but it has to be done. There's some players that don't deserve to be here that have walked on or tried out, but they just aren't going to make the cut. Chris Golden is a 40 overall walk-on who has no shot to make this team. Goodbye. Aiden Fairchild has potential, but with a 75 speed, his acceleration is great, but he's just too slow to play on our team. And he's 5'9", 175. We don't really have room for this guy, so unfortunately, he's got to go too. Caleb Bennett is a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore that, again, potential, but he's just not going to make the cut for us, unfortunately. Middle linebacker is a position that is super deep, and with 8 players still left to cut, Ryan Braden's got to go. With our team looking for depth and some positions to cut, I think Christian Booker unfortunately has to go as well. He's a senior, he's a redshirt, he's been a guy that's been sitting on the bench, but again, we need to make sure that our young guys are going to be there, and with him behind 2 players already, he's got no shot to play. As excited as I was about Ricky Evans and getting him in initially, the 3-star, I don't think he's really got it. We could look at cutting Cisco Crowder, and honestly with 79 speed, I think that's going to be the move. Cisco Crowder is definitely going to get cut. We can't have 5 strong safeties. I think Ricky Evans is the other guy to go. We have seniors, everybody else is a freshman. He's at the bottom of the chart. I know we recruited you, but go do something else. Another slightly controversial move for us here is getting rid of Bo Thomas Jr. Again, a redshirt freshman, but with 81 speed, he has no real chance of playing here, so it's time. Down to the last 3 players. Wyatt Franklin, I believe, is a fullback. No need to have that many fullbacks on our team. Gamble Monroe's gonna be gone for this season, so we're gonna keep him. Bowers will step in for his spot, but Looking for 2 more people. It's hurting me to cut these last 2 players because, again, I think there's a lot of potential, but Sidney Peters and Troy Bradley are going to be the guys I think has to go. Trey Swain is a true freshman who we're going to redshirt, and he's got massive height and he's got really good speed for that height. We're also seeing Mark Murphy come in with 93 speed. He's just not ready to go right now, but he will be in year 2 or year 3 because we have a lot of juniors and seniors. So I think we're going to cut a freshman that probably won't really see the light of day. We're going to cut Troy Bradley, who's a guy that, again, is a senior and maybe gets in once or twice. This is a tough move, but I think it's the right move. One of the biggest pieces about assembling your roster going into the following season is making sure you redshirt the right players and you don't piss off anybody or mess up their development. So for us, as we're looking at this, John McConnell will be our starting quarterback. No one's redshirted there. At running back, everyone's already been redshirted from a previous season. Fullback, same issue. Wide receiver, though, we're going to see both Mark Murphy and we're going to see Trey Swain both get redshirted. We have 5 active receivers above them. I think we'll be in a good spot with that. For addition, we'll be redshirting Lawrence Sims, the center, who's behind 2 redshirt sophomores. Again, he's got plenty of time before he's able to play again, so this makes the most sense. Along with Lawrence Sims, we're redshirting both Ben Oliver and Jamal Patterson. Those guys will sit behind. You're going to see Jason Capps get an opportunity to play a little bit this year, as well as Thomas Carroll, obviously being our dominant defensive tackle. But the other guys, we're going to need them more for depth going into the following season, so it's important to redshirt them now. At middle linebacker, with both Magwood and Eichenberg being dominant players for us, we're going to have Josh Cole redshirted. He's got a senior, a couple redshirt sophomores, and 1 more senior ahead of him. He'll compete a little bit more going into next year. Maybe his position changes to an outside linebacker spot or something, but he's not getting any PT this year at all. At the corner spot, we're fairly deep for what CVU can actually do, so John Hall will be redshirted this year as well. Free safety, Doug Hall, again, no relation to John Hall, will be redshirted as well. I'm excited to see what he can do, but it'll just be in year 2 that we experience that. And lastly, with Zion Shockley being leaps and bounds above everybody else, we're going to be seeing Ray Walden, the 4-star, who hopefully we're not pissing off, and Josh Powers both getting redshirted. Remember, Ray Walden could go into offense a little bit going into next season, but I want to give him a little bit of time to chill, marinate, and be a little bit better in a couple of spots. So our official schedule going into this next season will be off week 1, and week 2 we'll face Ohio, playing them at home, a little bit of a rivalry match.